racing, and we're clean and away. Great stuff. More of that, please.
Pit lane open. Mind your speed.
Wow.
Bold move there.
Oh no! I think he's played a blinder here. Side by side. Until he's off the track. What a battle to the end.
Fantastic race. Great team effort. Good job, everybody.
Hello there and welcome to the 2022 Asian Le Mans Series. I am Nadia Nash, welcoming you here in Abu Dhabi. And of course, the 3 rounds have brought us here to the final race of the season. The Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi is as well known as it is beautiful, especially when lit up at night. And we are going to be able to experience some nighttime racing here when the sun sets at about halfway through the race. So wait for that. Help me welcome Graham Goodwin and Oliver Gavin. Hello, gentlemen.
Thanks very much, Nadia. It is absolutely great to be here. It's been a packed couple of weeks here in the United Arab Emirates, and we're delighted to be here again for the second consecutive year for the season finale.
Yeah, well, thanks, Graham. It's great to be here. Great to have covered this championship, and we've had 3 excellent 4-hour races, 2 in Dubai, 1 here at Yas Marina last night. It was action-packed, loads of drama, and still 2 spots to be decided to take themselves to the Le Mans 24 Hours in 2022. I'm just going to run through this 5.281 kilometre track, 16 turns, coming down the front straight and into that fast turn 1, which then you pick up even more speed as you go round into turn 2, and then sweeps around into turn 3, and then diving downhill, heavy braking as you come down into that turn 5, newly reconfigured, 40 metres closer. The apex is to the pit lane, and it's 20 metres wide there on the entry. Easy for the undercut, and then coming down and into turn 6. Lots and lots of action and overtaking as we came into turn 6 yesterday, particularly on lap 1. And through there into turn 7, got to get a good run off of there, and then winding down through turn 8 and into that new parabolica style turn 9, banked. We saw a lot of action here yesterday, multiple lines, high-speed entry, lots of different cars looking for different spots of tarmac, but then into turn 10, 11, and then slightly different configuration through underneath the hotel at 13 and 14, off camber there at 14, tricky, then into 15, high speed, and then that final turn 16 and out to deliver another lap here at Yas Marina Circuit.
Let's go and have a look at what this is like from the driver's eye view. This is Ben Hanley aboard the number 4 Nielsen Racing Orica.
Hi, I'm Ben Hanley, and this is a hot lap around the Abu Dhabi Yas Marina Circuit in the number 4 Racing Nielsen LMP2. Through sector 1, it's really important to get a good exit on turn 1, because we're flat out through this high speed over the hill, and the exit here is quite tricky to stay off the curbs. And that is sector 1 done. And then we're heading straight into a new configuration of the circuit. It's much more open and higher speed than previous. And again, exit's really important, as this is the longest straight we have, and it also gives us the highest top speed of around 285 kph. We're then into a really heavy braking zone, so just as late as you can, and then it's a slowest corner of the circuit really is that first part, because you're always trying to again get a good exit for the next long straight. And then we're coming into another modified section of the circuit, and it's a lot quicker entry and mid corner. It's quite tricky around here because the exit's always tightening, so it's difficult to pick up your throttle point. And then we're heading towards the hotel section, which is pretty unique for us in sports car racing to be a street type circuit like this. So it's really cool for us to be able to get around here. Pretty tricky as it's really off camber, and then last two corners of the circuit. The last corner tries to lead your eyes too early because of the pit lane entry, but you get that right, and that's a full lap of the new configuration Abu Dhabi Yas Marina Circuit.
Before we get into grid, let's have a quick look at what happened in race 3 yesterday, packed with incidents. Race 1 at Yas Marina. The first 4-hour race here in Abu Dhabi, round 3 of the 2022 Asia Le Mans Series in bright sunshine and near 30-degree temperatures. It would be young 16-year-old, just 16, Josh Pearson would lead the field away and would do it impeccably. Behind at turn 1, a big lunge for positions from the 34 BMW, successful at that point, and that would be the precursor for a fantastic GT battle. Contact between the 51 and the 6 would spoil the day for the racing team car, 17 and the 99 battling away in a battle that just went on and on, with seemingly every single car in this 23-car field, a record for the Asia Le Mans Series, involved. The number 7 Inception Racing McLaren was heavily involved in those battles, as late in the day with the number 91 car, they would take a victory after a fantastic strategic race for the Renault twins and Ralph Byrne. Herbeth Racing champions last year, they won't be this year, but they'll be delighted with that performance. It was a win in P3 after disappointment in Dubai for the number 2 DKR Engineering Duquesne, the Nemo car. And it would be third place rather, for the number 27 CD Sport car. They look set fair for what could be a famous championship win just out of nowhere. This was the big incident that caused first a safety car and then a red flag, half an hour lost. Driver absolutely fine for the number 26 G-Drive racing car. Faultless run throughout the day. Laurence Hurt finally gets a chance to strut his stuff, and all 3 drivers aboard the Luxembourg team have got very used to winning races and championships. It won't be a championship, but they'll settle tonight for a race win. DKR Engineering from Luxembourg take the win. Laurence Hurt with the showing he's the number 1 today, and completely correct. It was a fight for a while with the number 4 Nielsen racing car. The 39 would come home 3rd overall and win LMP Toam. Number 4 would bring home 2nd place on the way to what looks like being a championship run for Nielsen Racing, but there is nothing to touch the run from the 2-car lineup, Josh Pearson and Paul Di Resta. Di Resta climbing into the car in the final hour and taking the fastest lap, but the star of the day, no doubt whatsoever, young 16-year-old Josh Pearson, turned 16 just days ago, was not old enough to race last week in the Asia Le Mans Series, but he will be a winner and will go on to compete in the WC, and also potentially the youngest ever driver to compete in the Le Mans 24 Hours. United Autosports win in Abu Dhabi. Not much of a breather before the qualifying sessions for race 2 were underway. HRT with Arja Maini aboard the number 6 Mercedes AMG in the mix. Johnny Adam too looked at one point as if he might make this a double pole position for TF Sport and Aston Martin, but would lose the pole position laps. Klaus Bachler peerless in the number 33 Herbeth Motorsports Porsche 911 GT3R would bring it back home for a first Porsche pole in 2022 in the Asia Le Mans Series. LMP3, and again Xavier Oliveras putting in a strong run. Also coming through the number 3 car, Edward Calpe, in the championship leading CD Sport cars, but once again it would be Laurence Hurt, DKR Engineering and the Duquesne D08. They were absolutely untouchable. Can they convert that to a race win on Sunday? LMP2, Paul Di Resta, impatient to get out there. And the number 39 Graf car with David Drew would again come back with 3rd place on the grid. The number 4 Nielsen racing car with Ben Hanley looked like he might challenge, but had to settle for 2nd behind this man and this car. 23 United Autosports, Paul Di Resta, a 2nd pole position in 2 races. The final round would see a double pole position for United Autosports 23 car ahead of the series champions from Nielsen Racing. It's 4 in a row for pole positions at DKR Engineering. Austin GT, the Herbeth Motorsport number 33 car would take their first pole position of the year.
The record GT grid, though, would prove, as always, to have the depth of competition we've come to expect in 2022.
Red lights out, and we're underway for the final race, the final 4 hours of Abu Dhabi. Another neat and tidy race. Big lock-up from the number 44, Ligier. Lots of cars running wide through turn 1 in the GT field. It was in the tail end of the P3s and the leading GTs where we saw the tussling, in particular, the opening laps yesterday. Look at that group of GTs tumbling down the hill. This much faster entry into the South Hairpin. Aston Martin side by side, round the outside goes the D-Station car, the 69 Oman racing car. Not seeing problems yet for anybody, Ollie.
No, and it's really fast and furious racing here. They're all streaming down the straight here, coming into turn 6. There'll be plenty of toes, the big holes in the air here.
Smoke.
All of these different cars are going to be trying to grab an opportunity.
Damage for the number 99 car, I think it was. It was either 99 or the 91 was in trouble.
And it's a little bit of a calmer start to the race than yesterday. I think maybe a few team managers have had a few words with drivers and just to sort of wind it back a notch, but it's still super, super close.
26 G-Drive racing car. Just looking to see where the CD Sport cars are coming through. In third has come the second place car in the championship. That's the number 3. To the back of the P3 field is the championship leading CD Sport 27.
Yeah, it is fast and furious. It's very much rinse and repeat for Josh Pearson at the start of this second race. This is exactly what United wanted again.
And looking there, another strong early race run from the Haupt racing team. It's Hubert Haupt in the number 6 AMG, Cryan Kempe Motorsport, Conrad in the little Ginetta 21, and then the 27 car from CD Sports. Race from car number 20, race start from car number 20, that is the GT AM leader. Is that the Nielsen racing car going through?
Yes, I think it is. The Nielsen racing car has
it's the Rinaldi car. It's the Rinaldi car, sorry, apologies, going through. And the Nielsen racing car under pressure from the Finnish Duquesne behind as well, with the Ginetta all over both of them. Great stuff in the midfield here for LMP3 in these early stages. 3 different cars round the outside, which becomes the inside, which becomes the outside again. The Ginetta looking for any which way they can through here. Sean Tong it is, Hong Kong-based driver. One of, I think, only 2 drivers in Asian Le Mans Series history to have driven in every major class in the series. That's the black and teal car in the background. Car in the foreground, the cherry red and yellow car, is the CD Sport Ligier, followed by the Nielsen Ligier. Trouble for one of the Kessel cars, that's the 57 car, another championship contender, winner yesterday in GTM. That looked to me to be down at turn 5.
Yes, it was.
With the TF Sport car ahead of Christophe Cresp in the number 27 CD Sports. Ligier, and Henrik Chavs has pulled away now from the chasing AMG, Ferrari, Porsche, Aston Martin, BMW, McLaren, and that's a long list before I get to a second mention of the same make, which is Porsche and the Dynamic Motorsport car.
Yes, it is such a deep field here in GT. You've got 7 different manufacturers. You've got front engine, mid-engine, rear engine configurations. You've got flat 6, straight 6, V8, V10, you've got turbo, non-turbo.
This is Hubert Haupt, who has kept a decent gap to Rino Mastronardi.
Yeah.
These are both very able drivers indeed. And the AMG has looked stronger here, Ollie, than we saw at Dubai.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly in pre-race testing, they had a couple of test sessions and then the free practices. The Mercedes looked the most settled through turn 1, and then into this high-speed turn 9. They've got pretty decent outright pace. They've got good grunt, but has it got the ultimate handling of that last section of the track like the McLaren has? D-Station car. And Fuji is in the D-Station car, and he has got a really peculiar habit of, as he comes down to the end of a straight, just before a brake zone, he nips out, has a bit of a look, and then he darts back on line.
Yeah.
And he did it into turn 1, he did it into turn 6, and I'm not sure if he's
gone
looking
wide,
up the
wide.
inside.
There you go.
Yeah, he wanted to make that move, and he's diving down the inside, trying to get it done. And yes, the Herbert, this car's given him some room, and he's through. He's got it executed, so he'll be able to get off and up the road after the Walkenhurst BMW M4. There's some 7 seconds there in between Henrik Chavez and Hubert Haupt.
Yeah, Chavez pulling away, and 55, I think, is going to be impatient to get by here.
Yeah,
Mastronardi.
He's got a problem.
He's got a problem.
That is not what
That
he
was
would
very
like.
sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like his electrical issue, something he just... Maybe he accidentally hit pit lane speed limit, or
He's back up to speed.
yeah, maybe it was. There's some of these cars have like a slow zone,
Yeah.
or behind pace car, or and a full course yellow, and maybe he hit that button by mistake.
This is the battle that could define the championship. So the 4 cars here, the 69 Racing cars just got by Brendan Arib. He's got his mirrors full of the car that has finished 3rd in all 3 races so far. The number 17 car in the hands of Conrad Grunewald. And who's behind Grunewald? Is it a dynamic Porsche?
Well, most of the time it's the
Yes.
Optimum car, Joe Osborne, but not
He'll be
right
back.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back.
And is that up the inside for the
yeah.
Ferrari? He's done it. He's done it there. That
He-
was just a slightly lazy run through turn 1, wasn't it, from Brendan Arib?
Yeah, he just trying to gather the car out before the exit curb there, and the 17 got the really good run through the apex and rolled the speed through and off, and just got the pass done coming into 2.
The American Opke makes his way through that little group.
We're just seeing Josh Pearson working his way down into turn 9. A little bit more traffic coming up for him. We've got the Aston Martin 95 car just up there in front. But yeah, he has done an amazing job in this first stint. He is some 53 seconds up the road from the Nielsen car, and he's set another purple sector on this lap, so he is not relaxing. Let's see if he does his trademark move into the brake zone. No, not this lap.
What do you think that's about? Is that just to try to intimidate the other driver, show them there? It's a much tighter line through there, though.
Yeah.
It's a better line, and he's got good traction out of this turn. So now it's going to be about who's got the ponies.
I think the Mercedes is going to be able to see this attack off, but it's just whether he goes too deep now, Hubert, into, well, I say he's got a nice toe, actually. Fuji has, and he's not quite gone up, but is he going to be able to tuck up underneath
he
him?
is.
Oh,
I
he
think
is.
he
Look at it,
is.
side by side. Fantastic
Beautifully
move.
done. Beautifully done. Textbook stuff from Tomonobu Fuji. He moves up ahead of Hubert Haupt into 3rd position in GT.
Yeah, that was a great move. Nicely done.
Oh,
someone
very
wide.
wide. That was one of the LMP cars, LMP3 car, I think, which was that. That's the G-Drive racing car. Side by side there, the 2 GTs coming through. So that is the change. That is Chris. Is that who's the 3?
the 3 car.
It's Nick Adcock taking his old adversary Tony Wells, who wasn't having that, and that was very close indeed. So it's Tony Wells showing himself to be feisty. Nielsen Racing in and out. This is the Orica leading the race, and I think will still lead the race at the
Absolutely.
end of this
Just
pit
took
stop.
fuel, no tyres.
Yep.
Last
Oh,
year.
and trouble here, and that's big trouble for someone.
Someone has had a pretty big... Oh, it's
It's
tyre
the
up.
leader. It's the leader in LMP3. It's a tyre that's gone for the number 2 car, and has to be careful here. Is it a tyre?
Or is it some transmission issue?
They've been told they must come to the pit to repair that car. What I think that car's been hit from the back behind. It has.
Yeah, there we go.
Now that's a problem. That is a bigger problem, because that is the legality panel. That is not the work of a moment. That car's been hit from behind. It's pushed the legality panel onto the rear wheel, and that is going to require a much longer stop to fix.
That's why the team needed to get on the radio to him.
Bingo.
They needed to tell him to slow down. He's going too quick with that damage, and then he's lost that bodywork, and now it's going to be way harder
That
to
is
fix.
effectively race win chance over for the number 2 car. That's horrible luck for the Decar Engineering car. They pit now. The separate problem is we've got debris, and we're going to go to full course yellow in just a few seconds' time. Oh dear.
Kendi.
Well, listen, it's bad news, minor bit of good news, because this repair can now be completed, at least in part, on a full course yellow as we go to recover that debris. All of the LMP3s, they are in their pit window. So
I think everybody's on pit lane.
that is the panel. That's turn 13, isn't it? So the final 4-hour race in the 2022 Asia Le Mans Series getting underway in 30-degree plus heat here at Abu Dhabi, the fantastic Yas Marina Circuit. It's neat and tidy as Roder Freitas gets the race underway. Josh Pearson, another good start, and a big lock up there from Mira Konopka. GT, frenetic in the early stages, as it has been throughout this 2022 season. The Inception Racing team looking to keep it clean. 51 and 42. Ferrari and the McLaren side by side. This time Nick Moss loses out and through, and taking that position goes to 51. Tomonobu Fuji putting the move on Hubert Haupt in the number 6 AMG. The 77 Aston Martin from D-Station Racing executes a beautiful pass to take the position. So 77 through and in contention with the number 91 Herbeth Motorsport car. Another pass position, a little earlier in fact. This was the 55 Rinaldi car, looking to get on terms with the 95 car that has led the GT race from the very start. Enrique Chaves, it was at the start of the race, now handed over the car to John Hartshorn in that full course yellow period. LMP3, and it really was a tight tussle with almost the whole pack at the start of the race. The early trouble for the 13 into Europol car, the little Ginetta in the mix with Ligiers and Duquesnes, and that's great to see. The Kain Kempi Motorsport car from Finland, number 72, trying to get on terms with what is now the race leader in LMP3, the Rinaldi racing car. And their race leader as a result of dramas for the early race leader, the D-Car Engineering number 2 car. LMP3 is serving up entertainment galore here with hours still to go. In LMP2, the 39 car led the LMP2 AM class, but couldn't do anything about the early pace of Rodrigo Salas, who's now handed over the 4 car to Matt Bell, leading the having won the championship, but it's Josh Pearson leading at will in the United Autosports 23.
Well, thank you, Graham, for that, for the highlights there for the first day here at Yas Marina, the 4 hours of Abu Dhabi.
My guess is going to happen here. This is, we've said before, very tricky to pick the right line here, and very tricky to defend as well.
Yeah.
If you've got a driver that really wants to get by, and David Perel certainly does. Runs wider than Aston Martin. It's exactly what I thought might happen there.
Yeah, John went early, committed,
yeah,
went tight, and then started to run a little bit wide, and David was just straight down to the inside and passed him through and off the corner.
This is a decisive run. This is a very important spell of the race for Rinaldi Racing. They need to win here and hope that the number 7 car behind starts to have some woes. Ollie Milroy, by the way, is now aboard the Inception Racing Team car.
We're seeing a replay now of what happened here. Coming into turn 5, the Conrad car just got in. Too much weight on that front axle, and the rear just comes around. It's just a
too
bit
tight.
Yeah. A little bit too overloaded there on that front axle. He starts to go, then he stalls in.
Yeah, and then it's in trouble.
Yeah, lights are out, and he's now trying to get it going again.
So,
and then I think he's run into this problem with the starter motor. Yeah, oh, this spinner also.
And that's what the City Sport cars.
This is at 7, turn 7.
Well. Which one is that one? Is that the 27 car? It's the 3 car. This is
turn 7.
This is the number 4
6.
car, just looking to deal with traffic, and that was a touch. A big one from the 49 car. That's
full course yellow.
Full course yellow now, and he's got to be careful there. Can't take a position.
No, we're seeing this temperature now still
it's
up
not
there,
coming down that much, is it?
30 degrees C, no, and the wind is much the same. The humidity's just climbed a little, but it's still hot and sticky out there. And we're back to green.
Here we go. Immediately jumps the 2 GT3 cars. He's looking to get onto the back of Josh Pearson quickly, and he's doing that job. Dynamic Porsche just in the path of the number 23 car. Has Pearson passed it? He has now. And right behind him, Matt Bell.
And this could be a chance for Matt to pounce again.
And it is just the 1 lap, so this is
there he is. He's
a
just
full lap gap.
closing up there on the brakes.
This is Matt Bell, experienced LMP racer, less experienced in P2 cars, but race and championship winner in LMP3, has got LMP2 experience before this Asian Le Mans series, but he's looking to put the young 16-year-old under pressure.
Yeah, they're going to use the Cox car as a bit of a pick here. He's going to
this is where he's going to try and
through and off.
Got a toe.
Is he going to be able to dive down the inside into turn 1? He's on the lights.
Not there.
No.
That's it's going to be a man to watch in
He is,
LMP3.
and he's got him right in the crosshairs here on his gearbox as they come down to turn 9. Is he going to go to the outside and then feint back to the inside? No, he's just going to
go right around the outside.
Just drive around the outside of him, why not?
Well, there we go. Has he got it done? Duquesne comes back at him, but I think the move is complete. The 26 car, from being half a car at midnight last night, leads the race.
Extraordinary, great job at
Amazing
Graf.
stuff. Who's aboard the 17 car at the moment? That is Louis Pret.
And is Josh going to pick the right way? Oh, look at Matt just going all the way around the outside.
He threw the dice, didn't he?
He did.
It didn't quite work. It was a good idea. It didn't
Great
work.
racing. Fantastic stuff.
You'll be enjoying this.
Yeah, I know Matt will have a big grin on his face. Great to see. Josh is dealing with it, though. He's dealing with it. And Richard will be just rubbing his hands together at United, sort of thinking his boy's being tested nicely here.
Now a P3 car is the next target. Where is this going to be possible? Is it going to be turn 1? Are they going to get there before the number 13 car? Might be a bit of a lunge here from Josh Pearson. Doesn't get there in time. He's got to follow this car through. Then down into those sweeping turns down towards the south hairpin. It's going to get him here. Don't think Matt's quite close enough. It's very close to the back of the 13 car. That's cost him time.
Yeah, I think Josh is now going to be able to, if he can get his head down a little bit here, he might be able to break that toe that he's giving to Matt on every straight.
The red and white Orica just again delayed there.
I'm not sure we actually ended up finishing what actually happened with this 49 car in the race yesterday. Anders Fjordbach was in the car to finish, and David Drew was in the 39 car, really chasing him down. Oh, he's had a spin. The two has spun on the exit of turn 5.
And caught by the following car that has ripped the rear spoiler off. This is going to be a full course yellow. There is debris right across the road. Dennis Anderson is also on pit road. Now, I didn't see the car there, so has it gone into the garage, the number 49? That could have finished the title for LMP2 right there as well.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
That car is going to go straight into the garage where they can get more hands on. Well, dramas galore at the end of the hour, but it was positional change in the sunshine as the sun started to go down. Rinaldi Racing grabbing the lead from the number 95 TF Sport car and beginning to get away. 6-Hout Racing car in contention as well. It's the biggest incident of the afternoon. Then the 39 car and the 49 and the 2. The recovering number 2 car engineering car having led the race, then in trouble with the 49 high-class racing car. Great move around the outside from Xavier Oliveras to go by the number 22 Rinaldi Racing car, Ligier on Duquesne. And that pair would get back into a tussle a little later in the stint with driver changes coming. Good run from the 26 today after being eliminated with a pretty serious fire yesterday. This car rebuilt effectively the rear end from the ground up overnight. Great tussle between the two leading cars. This is Matt Bell trying to unlap himself from Josh Pearson. That went on for lap after lap after lap. There's lots of almost and maybes, but the young American withstood the pressure. 39 and 49 it was. This was the running that led up to the incident at turn 5. And then at the end of the hour, it would be a switch over to Paul Di Resta in the number 23 car, taking advantage of the full course yellow for the incident with the number 2. The Scots pulling away after Nielsen Racing unlapped themselves in the pits.
Back to green.
This is the LMP2 AM battle for second. 38 seconds up the road, but they've got a minute and 40 seconds to stop.
Yes.
This is the battle for second on the road. I think an adjustment for the lead, and the 26 car is about to lose that position and does so now to Rinaldi Racing. It's again a completely topsy-turvy LMP3 race.
Impossible to call, and it is going to keep flip-flopping, I think, all the way to the checkered flag.
Indeed. Colin Noble, by the way, is 46 seconds back from this battle and needs to get very much closer.
He's just done his fastest lap of the race,
yep.
Colin Noble has, but he's still a second or so off of the Rinaldi Racing car.
He needs to be ahead of the Rinaldi car to be in the title battle. High-class Racing dropping down the order. 39 is under pressure, but not immediately. John Corbett taking tenths every lap out of this. So we've got 2 GT3s and 2 LMP3s. Is that a change for position here coming? No, it's not.
No.
That is CD Sports looking to unlap themselves from the G-Drive Racing car.
But we are at the point now when the race finished yesterday. So this is uncharted territory for a lot of these teams now. We're going to go into 2 more hours of darkness here and just see how this track develops over these next couple of hours, and just trying to read that and get everything just right with these tyres. you know, every pit stop comes along, how the balance of the car changes and how everybody feels behind the wheel.
Frankie Bird has gone by Ollie Milroy for second.
Wow.
So the 88 car has gone by Ollie Milroy in the Inception car as the number 3 car unlaps himself from the third place car in LMP3. 57 took the win last night, closed within 7 points.
Right.
And then the 99 car that had that big penalty last night for a wave bar infringement, they're on 45 points, so they really need trouble to hit the other 2 cars. This is the 20 car.
Yeah, he's lining himself up to try and get past David. And David is using the toe off the McLaren to see if he can get up onto him and dive down into turn 6.
There's Frank Bird. That's the gap to the second McLaren. Then comes the Rinaldi Ferrari. He's going to lunge, look to be telegraphed there, didn't arrive. And then Mick Grenier in the number 20 SPS Automotive Performance car that's been pretty much the class of the GTM field.
I know you don't really need it here under the lights in Abu Dhabi, but sometimes you might just miss a couple of spots, you know, coming through and out of turn 1 into turn 2. It's not that well lit there. And you might just be struggling just to see exactly where you are.
Now this is the point where it might all swing back as Matt Bell is now approaching this gaggle of tussling.
Around the outside, Matt is going.
Yeah, so he's taking one. Now he's got to deal with Davide Rigon. But the Mick Grenier is catching Ollie Milroy now.
He is. He's been very quick in that car. And I think that's what he's trying to do right now.
Yeah, let's wait and see if that does happen. So he doesn't want any possibility. He's done exactly that, spot on.
Goes.
Now he gets the opportunity for the toe.
Yep, and he's trying not to lose any time, but David is wise to it.
Isn't he?
And he's going to be hauling himself. He's getting 2 cars towing him down the straight. It does have an effect.
Great stuff.
Multiple car tows.
What kind of... Can you feel it?
No, but you just start picking up. The RPM just starts to climb just that little bit quicker. And you definitely arrive at that break point just that little bit quicker. But from 2 cars, it's not double, but you certainly feel that effect when you're in a multiple car tow.
D-Station Racing has stopped somewhere. Tom Gamble. It stopped on the main track. There it is, underneath the gantry. So Tom Gamble has stopped.
Oh, this could be a full course yellow here.
Unless he can get the car restarted, I think it's inevitable, and that will be the end of the race for the number 77 D-Station Racing Aston Martin. Tom Gamble, clearly something went wrong right at the end of that lap. And just hearing from the director that, indeed, back into proceedings, Lawrence Herr has come back out in that number 2 car. Good to see them back out. We want to see them finish this race.
Yeah.
They're going to, the moment, running 8th and laps down, very sadly, and quite a lot of laps down.
Yeah, some sort of 18, I think.
Yeah, still in the pit garage, I'm afraid, are our Finnish friends from Kyan Kempi.
Yeah, when we saw...
Green
back
flag.
to green, yeah.
There is the number 2 car, by the way, in the background there, coming into turn 5 now. That is our LMP2 Amlin. Oh, what a big slide there.
Yeah.
Colder tyres, I guess. And there is the number 44 car. That's the gap. So the second car in the order here, the black nose car there, actually blue. And then the 4th car, the bright yellow car, that is the battle for LMP2 AM. Not sure what's happened there. Here comes Matt Bell.
Yeah, there's a 91 car there. It's leading in GT. Robert Renaud is now on board.
From Alessandro Piagridi.
Wow.
Now that's because Alessandro has had a run through pit lane for some reason. That will be track limits. I think he was on a final warning, black and white flag. So I wonder whether or not there's been a penalty for Pierre Guidi that we've not seen on screen.
Car backwards.
Is that the 49?
It is. I think it is the 49.
So the 49's had a traumatic run here.
Oh dear.
And is that who is in the 49 now? It is Kevin Weider.
Yeah.
Always
super positive.
Super positive, super, absolutely up for the competition, the fight.
But clearly does a great job there. And yeah, she does fantastic work.
Oh, that was close. Oh, was it close?
Yeah,
it wasn't. Oh, no. And that's a 17.
No.
That's going to be a penalty, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, and that car is going to be wounded now. Unless he can get it out of there, it's going to be...
There was never a way through there. So while we're getting this car under the control of the safety car, let's go down to Nadia. She's got Tom Gamble out the race, I'm afraid, with the number 77 D-Station Racing Aston Martin.
Yes, we do have Tom Gamble, who was in the car for car 77 when it stopped on the track just now. I guess we better ask the man himself what actually happened. So Tom, maybe you can tell us what happened.
Yeah, not too sure what you said there because of the noise, but yeah, we had a bit of a tough one there. Obviously, we had a really strong race yesterday until a drive-through for track limits, which, you know, was my fault really, so it would have been nice to pay the team back today with a really good result, which I think was on the cards because the D station Aston Martin this weekend's been really, really strong. But yeah, it was going quite well then, and then sadly had what we believe was a drive shaft failure. So yeah, really you know, tough way to end the Asian Le Mans series, but yeah, it's a real shame.
Right, but you guys have given a fantastic performance the past 3 races. You heard it from the man himself, Tom Gamble from D Station.
With the race coming towards darkness, it was all about the 2 leading cars, the Oreca's of United Autosports and the number 4 Nielsen Racing car, trying to get back onto the lead lap. The Nielsen Racing car, the 42 Optimum Racing McLaren having a fine run here. And the 51 with Alessandro Pierguidi climbing aboard, got himself up into 2nd place as darkness fell. But the lead, after winning last night in with huge fortune coming the way of Herbeth, it was a much cleaner run to the lead for the number 91 car. The 44 car, this was the incident that finished the hour, and that was a clash with the number 17 AF Corsa Ferrari, putting Vincent Abril from 11th place in GT into the wall at turn 3 and out of the race. Number 72, finish entered Campi Coronan car. That car is effectively out of the running and still on pit lane after running well up the field. This was the battle before that clash for the lead in LMP2 and the podium position overall. It was John Corbett just losing the car a little bit there and losing a little bit of patience, I'm afraid, which led to the 17 cars clash at turn 3. This had promised much, but it ended with the car, the race under safety car. 2nd place in LMP2 AM by dint of some pace from the Ligier tonight and some problems for the high-class racing car. There's way further down the order. Here's your 2nd place car and championship winner number 4 from Nielsen Racing. It's the 23 car leads the race.
Well, thanks for that, Graham. We're now watching the 23 car on pit lane, having this most probably one of its final pit stops. It's done a full tyre change, fuel, pushing it back to see if they can get off of their pit box and back into racing here. Right. So I just had an update.
In comes the safety car. We're going to go back to green flag running. And leading away will be Matt Bell, now back onto the lead lap, and with a clear track ahead of him. We've not yet seen Ben Hanley.
No, but it sometimes has taken a moment or two to update.
He didn't pit. The number 4 car didn't pit.
Oh, okay.
So United Autosports lead the race, and still Josh Pearson is back in the car now. Is the other point to make here. So Josh Pearson
back on the same lap as United.
He is indeed. So there will be one more pit stop for both those lead cars. That would be 63 points. Nielsen take the title.
Wow. The 12 car and the 88 side by side into turn 6.
Could we be in the extraordinary situation where Nielsen Racing win 2 entries to Le Mans?
This would be extraordinary.
David Drew, by the way, puts in the fastest time of the race for the 39 car.
And that's Ben Barker leading in GT at the moment.
He'll be liking this.
Yeah, he will. I spoke to him earlier on as well, just before the start of the race, and he was, pumped up, ready to go.
Well, there's Barker, there's Eastwood, there's Regon. They're 1, 2, 3.
Also, another thing I just saw there, which was something that he was saying was a bit of a problem for the Porsche here this weekend, is the car can be a little bit nervous on the rear on the way into the corners, and they're fighting that a little, and I could see that from that entry into turn 9.
So your top 3 here is the number 12 Porsche. That's the dark coloured, the blue and white 12 car. Then it's the number 69 Oman Racing car, our Quality Street car, just going through there. The metallic purple car, and 3rd place is the Rinaldi Racing car, the title contending red and black Ferrari there, with other cars in the mix, and unfortunately for the title contenders, other GT cars in the mix.
Yeah, and they're all
34 car, for instance, which is in the hands of Nicky the Cat Katzberg, is out of this and out of the top 10. I think Neil Muston's just got aboard. So we've got both the battles for GT class lead in the same shot here. This is the battle for GT. Ahead of them, the two dark coloured cars ahead, the AMG and the Porsche, that's the battle for GTM.
It is.
And that is Michael Grenier and Finn Gerschitz battling away. Axel Jeffries a bit further back here, 45 seconds back. So this could get spicy.
Yeah, it is. It's going to get very interesting this last 50 minutes of racing the Asia Le Mans Series here in the 2022 version.
But before we get back into the GT stakes, let's go down to, with Nadia. She's got Paul de Resta at United Autosports.
It's obviously fairly tricky out there. A lot of safety cars, a lot of full course yellows, and to that to deal with the pressures going low and where you are. But we're in a good position. I think Josh did a very good job early on in the race. We got a lap. We went a little bit out of sync with pit stops now, but it should be good to the end. And it's all about him if he can finish it off. It's been a nice working weekend with him so far, and to get a double win for him on the week that he's turned 16 is quite incredible. And then we go on to Sebring, but you know, the conditions are great, the track's very grippy at this point in the weekend as well, and it's just a joy to drive.
Right, fantastic. Hopefully a good birthday present for him, yeah? Thank you so much, Paul. So all the best to the rest of the team we have. It's just a very short, an hour plus to go.
Thank you very much for that, Nadia.
Down into turn 6.
There's Renauer.
Yeah.
There's 91. There's the 88.
Ah, what's happened here?
Oh dear.
And then he's
Up the inside.
88 is just lunged up the inside.
And it's a touch.
Yeah.
And that is the 88 full position, but how's that going to be called?
Yeah. He wasn't there. He wasn't alongside. Not in my eyes.
No, I tend to agree. Nimble little LMP3 gets away.
Yeah, that might frustrate him. You know, Sebastian Alvarez kind of threw it in there, and Charlie's sitting there thinking, I'm in the lead and I need to be, you know, keeping that as much lead as possible. And P3 car going through in that way, it only holds you up.
The key battles here, car 44, by the way, pit stop under investigation, already, I think, in trouble. The RC Bratislava team. I believe it was John Corbett, the collision, but pit stop since then, and that's likely the one with the pit stop, the pit entry closed.
Oh yes.
But it's a minute and 7 seconds is the lead gap with Matt Bell. They are due on pit lane any time now for the final pit stop, which will be for Ben Hanley to attack.
Yeah.
David Drew with a comfortable lead now and in fact he's on pit lane now, the number 4.
Right.
David Drew, 3rd place overall.
3 wide.
Whoa, at least. Yeah, you're welcome to that, says Johnny Eastwood.
Yes.
Be my guest.
He's now got to get past this gaggle of cars in front of him, the 51. But who's aboard the 51 now?
That is Francesco Pivanetti.
Yeah.
But catching as a result of all this traffic, Johnny Eastwood, 3 wide in.
Yeah. It's a nice
3 there again.
Down. Yeah. Oh, 3 wide off.
Good grief. There is the Rinaldi car, 2nd, with Davide Rigon closing 3 seconds as they crossed the line last time. It's going to be closer, I think, with this traffic. But then Davide is going to deal with this, and we think both have to stop.
Yeah, and it looks like Charlie Eastwood's going to throw it up the inside of the SPS car. And he's got it done nicely. That was a nice, clean way to do that.
I've just spotted the number 8 Nielsen Racing car. That's what I was waiting for. Has pitted, and I think that's the key here. I think the others don't need to pit to finish.
Really? Okay.
It's going to be very tight, but the 8 Nielsen Racing car of Colin Noble will cede the lead.
And you think that the others can go to the end?
I think it's very close.
Right. 2-3 wide. There's some very wide line there by David Rigon. He got in there super deep.
And that's sad, but after the contact and issues in the pits, probably quite inevitable.
Yeah, you can't see any other outcome apart from a big penalty.
David Drew, a great lap there. 1:42.1 from David Drew. That's a cracking lap.
Yeah, and I think that the track is just going to get faster and faster and faster. Lots of rubber going down. That track temp's coming down. It's just cooling off nicely. The engine's going to be able to breathe a little bit easier. Shot up the inside into turn 5. No.
Well, Veras fancies this, doesn't he?
He does.
He's far the more aggressive in terms of, he's got a good run out that turn as well.
Yes,
this is going to give him a run down towards turn 6, Ollie.
Yep. he needs to sit in the toe for longer. I'm not sure he's going to have the horsepower or the top speed to get all the way by, or does he?
I think he has, you know.
Yeah.
I think he's got it.
Wow.
It's going to be who can be brave on the brakes, who can be tight on the brakes. It's going to be the 26 if he can make this turn.
Yeah.
He's got the position. That's the lead gone.
Just get a good exit off of there, and he looks like he has. And Ronaldo's just bobbling a bit there on the exit.
Well,
But
wow.
Is he going to be able to tow up behind the G-Drive car and get around the outside, possibly down into turn 9?
Well, from Ball of Flame to Hall of Fame, fantastic stuff from the G-Drive Racing number 26. With the LMP3 car falling behind the 26, the 55 car will shortly lose the lead to the number 91 Herbeth Motorsport car.
And he took fuel, just fuel, no tyres. Yes.
In terms of race control attention. And
Yeah.
right behind the 88 is the 33, Klaus Bachler. Then Inception 4th. Now, Inception would love to finish this race. A worthy opponent here. Full beam on the Porsche.
Yeah, I think this is going to end up with some trading of paint.
And held up by the Ferrari. This is going to help the Porsche, without a doubt. Better run through there. A tough place to pass here until we get through to the wider open spaces beyond turn 16.
And Marvin's just, oh, that's going to be late. No, this is going to hurt him. Klaus Bachler's going to get a good run here down into turn 1.
Defending the inside line.
Yeah, Marvin's going to have to do something good here to keep.
He's got him.
Yeah,
He's got him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He lost the spot really at the corner before. He just had to check up, and then at the apex he was off throttle, and Klaus was already on it, and he just drove by him.
So Herbeth Motorsport hold a 1-2 here. What a turnaround.
Yeah, that is quite the turnaround. I mean,
Now,
the 51 was not helping Marvin there.
No, this
I'm
is
sure
Francesco Piavanetti, who is a gentleman driver with the Asian Le Mans Series GT grid turned up to full bonkers at this point.
Pretty colourful.
There's our leader in LMP3. Leonard Weiss now 12 seconds back and falling into the clutches of Steve Paulette in the championship leading 27 car. CD Sport looks set fair here.
Yeah,
and they've got 2 bullets left in the gun as well, with both cars again coming back up the order.
It's extraordinary.
It's amazing.
They have just absolutely nailed it every race.
Is he going to make it here?
He's not quite close enough.
But he's got the
But
pick of the 48 car.
lunge
Going
up the
for it. He's got it here. He's got it here.
Great move.
And how far ahead now is Steve Paulette? 3.2 seconds. He's got to close the gap now to his teammate. He's got 2 cars between, one of which is the Nielsen Racing car back out on the road. Final 2 turns. It is going to be a second consecutive win in the Asian Le Mans Series for the number 23 United Autosports Oreca. Josh Pearson, 16 this week. 91 is going to come home ahead of the sister 33 car to boss the top 2 steps of the podium.
It's impressive to see that.
Here's our leader in LMP3. It's going to be G-Drive Racing for a first ever LMP3 win with Graf Racing. It's been quite a season in the Asian Le Mans Series, Ollie, and in particular, what a great season in GT.
United Autosports take the win in the final race of the season ahead of Nielsen Racing and Graf Racing, who also take LMP2 AM. G-Drive Racing, an amazing recovery from trouble on Saturday to take the win ahead of the CD Sport pair of Ligiers. Herbeth Motorsport, a double win for the German Porsche team, with the Inception Racing crew completing their run to a title. GTM could not be closer. 57 takes the win, 20 takes the title.
Race 4 of the Asia Le Mans Series to bring things to a conclusion would be race 2 at Yas Marina Circuit in Dubai under 30-degree plus skies, and Josh Pearson in the 23 United Autosports Oreca would lead away from the championship winning number 4 Nielsen car. There were all sorts of thrills, spills in GT. Everybody seemed to be involved at some point. Ferrari and McLaren have been the order of the day up in Dubai. It would be the Aston Martin and the AMG involved in the early part of the race. Marvin Kirchhofer lucky to get away without a penalty from hitting what would be the eventual race winner from the eventual 3rd place finishing car. TF Sport flew high and then flew a little lower and would come home not on the podium. It would be the 91 Herbeth Motorsport car coming home for a double win, and it would be a 1-2 for Herbeth, with the 33 car coming home nose to tail for a formation finish for the German team. The number 88 McLaren would complete the podium, a first for Garage 59 with their new machines. Robert Renauer, Ralph Byrne and Alfred Renauer taking the win. LMP3 had something for everybody. Everybody that wants thrills, spills, disappointment, amazing racing that is. CD Sport won in the mix, but it was the 26 G-Drive racing car taking the lead here as everything went wrong ahead for the D-Car Engineering number 2. They would lead and lead well with the Nemo liveried Duqueine, but it would be a mix-up in traffic that would cost them very dearly indeed, as the 39 car and 49 car tussled. Something of contact and then contact again would effectively end the title challenge, or rather the race challenge, from the number 2 car. 26 G-Drive racing car would come home out of fuel but crossing the line to take the race win. Behind, the 2 CD Sport cars would contest the overall title in LMP3, and that would finish nose to tail as well. In LMP2, it would be a mix between the race win for the 23 car, Josh Pearson having a fantastic run again, aided and abetted by Paul de Resta. Nielsen Racing would bring it home second, and in the tussle for LMP2 AM, the 39 car would complete the podium as the 49 faded, and the 44 would find itself in trouble in a little while with contact with one of the GT cars, costing them a penalty and a chance for the overall podium. A second consecutive win for United Autosports for Paul de Resta, but most of all, I feel, for Josh Pearson, 16 years old earlier this week. He is now a double international race winner and takes the checkered flag for the very first time. He meets the flash guns and the cameras and the plaudits at the end of the second 4 hours of Abu Dhabi.
With the season over, it's time to celebrate, and on the race winners podium, it's the 23 United Autosports Oreca crew, Paul de Resta and Josh Pearson. G-Drive Racing, an amazing win after a fire on Saturday for the 26 Ligier, and Herbeth Motorsports number 91 Porsche, a double win in Abu Dhabi. In the GT AM class, it would be the 57 Kessel Racing Ferrari crew that take the win, and Graf Racing's 39 Oreca takes LMP2 AM.
We're going to say goodnight and goodbye now for this season. We hope to be back with you next season, a very different Asian Le Mans series. And we're going to say one more time, down to you, Nadia Nash.
Thanks to the both of you as well, who made this whole event so colorful. But of course, it was a fantastic, a thrilling 4 hours here in Abu Dhabi. I lost count of the number of full course yellows that we had, but we came through, and here we are at the last race of the season, and it was fantastic to watch. But for now, this is the end of this chapter. Dubai and Abu Dhabi was a pleasure to visit. Till we meet you again in the next season. This has been 2022 season of the Asian Le Mans Series. Thanks for watching.